Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to the 15th Annual Leo Awards, hosted by the First Responders Appreciation Foundation. To honor America, can I please ask you to rise and remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors by members of a multi-jurisdictional honor guard from the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie County agencies, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of our national anthem, which will be performed today by Bailey Bonick. Today's invocation and reading of the fallen will be administered by Palm Beach Gardens Police Chaplain Mike Toby. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that flag banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
afternoon. Let's, in honor, please bow our heads for a moment of prayer. God, we humbly approach you today with thoughtful and thankful hearts, thankful for our many abundant blessings. You've generously blessed our nation in so many ways. Yet we pray that you will bring real peace to our land so we can rest in safety and comfort and not have to send our sons and daughters into harm's way. Today we remember and honor those who have died this past year in the line of duty. We each feel the loss of these precious men and women. So Lord, we ask that you would keep us always in remembrance of their sacrifice and their service. We also pray for their families and their friends who have suffered greatly. We ask that you give them of your limitless grace the strength and courage to face the future with peace and with the hope that only you can give. We also ask that you especially bless those today who will be rewarded for their outstanding dedication and performance. We honor these men and women as some of our finest, dedicated to protect us and keep us safe, while often putting their own lives and their personal dreams at risk for us. We thank you, God, for each one of them. We ask you to bless our meal and our fellowship, and we ask all these things in your very precious name. Amen. And now I will read the names of the fallen and light the memorial candle in their honor. Deputy Sheriff Michael Hartwick, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, end of watch, September 22nd, 2022, cause of death, vehicular assault. Deputy Sheriff Blaine Lane, Polk County Sheriff's Office, end of watch, October 4th, 2022, cause of death, gunfire. Officer George Arias, United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection, Office of Field Operations. End of watch, October 19th, 2022, cause of death, gunfire. Deputy Sheriff Christopher Taylor, Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, end of watch, November 22nd, 2022. Cause of death, vehicular assault. Corporal Ray Charles Hamilton, Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, end of watch, December 24th, 2022, cause of death, gunfire. Corporal James Michael McWhorter, Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Office of Agricultural Law Enforcement, end of watch, February 12, 2022, cause of death, automobile crash. Police Officer Christopher Nicholas Ferriello, Tallahassee Police Department, end of watch, June 8, 2022, cause of death, automobile crash. Senior Investigator Kyle Lee Patterson, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, end of watch, June 9th, 2022. Cause of death, automobile crash. Police Officer Cesar Echeverri. Miami-Dade Police Department, end of watch, August 17th, 2022. Cause of death, gunfire. Special Agent Jose Antonio Perez, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, end of watch, August 20th, 2022. Cause of death, automobile crash. Let's take a brief moment of silence in remembrance of these fallen. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Can I have a special hand for our singer today? Great job. Mayors, judges, sheriffs, chiefs, deputies, officers, and invited guests, welcome to the 2023 Leo Awards. My name is Frank Good, event president. The Leo Committee is excited to be back at PJ National Resort and Spa to honor the great work by our law enforcement community over the past 25 years. The Leo Committee received a total of 229 nominations this year in 13 categories from 20 different agencies representing Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties. The process of planning this event involves multiple subcommittees and hundreds of volunteer hours. I would like to recognize the wonderful people who have chosen to give of themselves to make this event what it is. First, I would like to ask all the agency liaisons that are in the room today to please stand so that we can recognize you. These individuals have taken on additional duties of being the point person for the respective agencies regarding nominations, RSVPs, and everything else that was needed. The diligent work each liaison does with reviewing, editing, and submitting the nominations, along with their agency's RSVP guest list, ensures all the wonderful hard work the officers and deputies do throughout the year gets recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these outstanding people a round of applause. Liaisons, thank you very much again. We've spoke hundreds of times. I know you've spoke with our committee hundreds of times. You're trying to do your work and everything else you have going on and trying to get everything organized for what we need. This couldn't happen without your help. So from the committee, again, thank you all very, very much. Next group I'd like to introduce to you is the Leo Committee. This committee has worked over the past year to bring this event to you. It's comprised of the hardest working, most dedicated people you'll ever meet. The committee understands and respects the sacrifice each law enforcement professional makes each and every shift. That is why all the volunteers put so much effort into bringing the best program we can to honor their efforts. At this time, I can please ask the Leo Committee to stand when your name is called. Retired Administrative Assistant to the Chief, Palm Beach Gardens PD, Ann Miller. Emergency Communications Supervisor, Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Jamie Smith. Retired Air Force Colonel and founding Leo Committee member, Dieter Hines. Major Josh Lewis, Riviera Beach Police Department. Major Chris Smith, Jupiter Police Department. Sergeant Manny Rivera, Florida Highway Patrol. Retired Major from Palm Beach Gardens Police Department and current Security Director at the Gardens Mall, Jack Schnurr. That must be coming from all the women that like to shop at the mall, I guess, right? Retired Bergen County, New Jersey Sheriff and current Public Safety Director at Admiral's Cove, Jay Albert. Retired officer and current law enforcement coordinator at the Palm Beach State Criminal Justice Institute, LaQuandra Beckford. Army veteran and firm partner and someone I go to the same barber with for the law offices of Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath, Lance Ivy. Lieutenant and Executive Officer with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Eric Moneth. Captain Patrick Johnson, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Former officer and current project manager of ACC Mastercraft, and my daughter soon to give birth on Monday, Brittany Good. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to these great people. I think she's done everything but use a cork to try to keep this kid in there for another couple days, so we're doing the best we can. It looks like Monday is the big day. For those of you who do not know, Captain Paul Deal's wife went into labor this morning from Boynton Beach PD, so it must be something in the water going on, but we wish them all the best, obviously. Our next group of volunteers that we like to recognize are the current police recruits that you see throughout the room today. They are from the Palm Beach State Criminal Justice Institute. Recruits, if you're not standing, can I please ask you to stand? These recruits have volunteered their time to assist the Leo Committee with the multiple tasks that are required to put on this program. They are also here to possibly have a moment to talk with command staff personnel about openings within their respective agencies. As the old saying goes, sometimes life comes down to a few moments. Command staff, if you haven't been approached or if you have been approached, please take a moment and speak with these unsponsored recruits as they are looking to start their careers and their future lives. Recruits, thank you very much for all your help today. When all of you checked in this morning, you met probably the most important volunteers that we have. All of these wonderful people asked the Leo Committee how they can assist with the program. Our seating coordinator, Jamie Smith, gladly welcomed them and proceeded to set up training regarding the seating program. Additionally, some of these volunteers, led by committee member LaQuandra Beckford, formed a table design committee and met several times to produce the table decorations that you see now on the table. Volunteers, can I please ask you to stand, especially the ladies that were working this morning to check everybody in. The Leo Committee cannot thank you enough for all your hard work and dedication, volunteer time. We actually have a young lady here from Indian River SO, so she drove a long way to be here to help us out today. Volunteers, thank you all very, very much for helping us. For the last several years, several sponsors have contributed to the Leo Awards Scholarship Program, which assisted self-sponsored recruits with school-related expenses. This year, happily, the Indian River and Palm Beach State Academies were recipients of a state grant that fully funded all self-sponsored recruits, covering all their school-related expenses. Therefore, for this year, the scholarship program will not be needed. However, the Leo Committee would like to honor the sponsors that have contributed to this program and to this event. The Leo Committee will review the grant status for both academies next year to determine if a scholarship program will be needed. Can I please ask the following scholarship sponsors to please stand so we can thank you for your commitment to this program. Alarm Association of Florida, Dr. Evelyn Alba, the Gardens Mall, Lund Animal Hospital, McDonald's Corporation, Moss Towing and Transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these sponsors a wonderful round of applause. At this time, we'd like to recognize the table and corporate sponsors. Of course, without them, we wouldn't have an event here, so this is very, very important for us to have them present here today. We're going to talk our free, table sponsors first, so I can ask you all to please stand, and audience, please hold your applause until I've listed all of them. Addison Reserve, Admirals Cove MPOA, Alex Giavatti, Breakthrough Beverage, Axis Communication, Evershore Financial Group, the Honda Classic, Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Lost Tree Village, Marisol Club and Associates, Ocean Ridge Police Department, Old Marsh, Summers Fargus, the Town of Palm Beach Police and Fire Foundation, Trump National Jupiter, West Palm Beach Police Department. Please give these wonderful sponsors an applause for all their help. At this time, if I can ask LaQuandra to come up and give me a hand, we're going to be bringing up our corporate sponsors at this point. Sponsors, gold, silver, and platinum, if you can start making your way up to the stage, please. Some of you will be making brief remarks, and we have a video from one of the sponsors that we're going to be putting up here shortly. So we're going to start with our gold level sponsor. So coming up to the stage now, Axon, Florida Crystals, Leiter, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fromrath, Triple Crown Properties, and the Hayes family. And we have Lance Ivy. I'd like to make a few comments.
Just like to make a few comments. So, everybody knows that for whatever reason, the community dislikes lawyers, dislikes cops for whatever reason. So, I came here to ensure that you guys aren't the most disliked profession in the room. God put you guys in the position that you're in because he knew you can handle it. That's the bottom line. Not anybody can do what you guys do. You and I have a lot more in common than you might imagine. So I grew up, my father was a police officer. I joined the largest police agency in the world, the United States Army, where I served as a paratrooper in the infantry division. I've always looked up to my dad. I look up to you, always will. And you guys, it's hard for me not to get emotional, but when things are going tough, you guys are running in, man. And when people are at their worst, you guys are at your best. And for whatever reason, the world's getting crazier and crazier, and God bless you guys for doing what you do, but you have my heart, and you have my wallet, you have the wallet of my firm, my partners, for worthy events like this, and God bless you.
Lance, you get the award for the sharpest dressed guy in the room today, too. Our silver sponsors. Representing Good Greek Relocation Systems, Don Ferrande. Representing Kaiser University Flagship and the West Palm Beach campuses, Campus President at West Palm Beach, Lisa Newsheet. She's going to make a few comments right now.
Thank you, Frank. On behalf of myself and Dr. Gary Vonk, Campus President of our Kaiser University Flagship Campus, we express our deepest gratitude to the law enforcement officers who have made such a difference in our lives. To our officers, we commend your valor, dedication, and sacrifices you make every day to protect us, and we thank you for being a shining example of what it means to uphold the principles of justice, fairness, and compassion for all. To further support our law enforcement community, I'd like to announce that Kaiser University Flagship Campus will be hosting the Kaiser University Blue Line 5K race in celebration of men and women in law enforcement and public safety. As a signature event for Kaiser University, the students and faculty of criminal justice, crime scene technology, forensic investigation, and legal studies look forward to supporting our law enforcement community. Please watch for the date and time of this event. Again, on behalf of Kaiser University, we thank you for your selflessness, your sacrifices, and your unwavering devotion to keeping our community safe. Thank you.
Don Ferrante from Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Good Greek has built an ethos based on honesty, trust, and courage. It starts with knowing where you came from and letting your history show you the way forward.
Spiro Georgiadakis, he runs a moving company here. He's a former police officer.
It's learning early on what it means to serve others and protecting those in our community.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, where trucks like these are headed to Port Charlotte with much-needed aid for victims of Hurricane Ian.
It's taking that first step and trusting that new ideas and hard work will make a difference. It's creating a culture of excellence and training the next generation to strive to be the very best. It's always looking for ways to improve and partnering with brands that represent the best in their class. It's adding your work ethic and the Good Greek way to new industries so you can go further than any competition. It's achieving more than you thought possible so you can become a total relocation company. When you add all of this together, it defines our culture, our principles, our ethos. It's all Good Greek to me.
You're my hero.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dominic Ferrante with Good Greek. Besides having an overwhelming urge to produce my license and registration at this moment, I do have the unique privilege of accepting this award and also being here on behalf of our company. As you know, Spiro was former law enforcement, and that's a bond that you all understand, that it doesn't matter whether you're currently active or you become legacy, that bond never goes away. So it is an honor for us to be here today. But the true award really is this moment. Speaking with Spiro, getting this means the world to him, and also for our company, but really it's right now and here, looking out at each and every one of you as representations of our community. The work that you do, it's selfless, you put yourselves at unknown risk at any given moment. And while that's not always appreciated, and it's a cliche, but it can be a thankless job, on behalf of Good Greek and Spiro, myself, we want you guys to know that we are forever grateful for the work that you do. Again, it means the world to us. Good Greek is known for our superhero. You saw that in the video. But you guys are the heroes, right? So again, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And really, whether it's being the first voice that somebody hears when they call 911, to being the first team on the scene, to being a detective that's putting the pieces together, to the back office support, you're all critical to the safety of our community, so we want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Don. Our final group is the Platinum sponsors. WPTV Channel 5, Assistant News Director Gayleen Stewart, I know is going to make a few comments. If you can come up, please. And accepting for Waterfront Properties, our Leo Committee member, Jay Albert. Jay, if you can come up, please.
Greetings, everyone. First, I'd like to say congratulations to all of our honorees this afternoon, and I want to extend a special thank you to every man and woman in law enforcement for your hard work, your dedication, your grit, and your commitment to our communities. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. You are our unsung heroes. Thank you from WPTV.
As I look around the room, I see it's like a sea of blue and green. And the one thing that everyone has in common in this room is, regardless of the color, we're all cut from the same cloth, whether you're active, retired, or whatever. Unfortunately, I think one other thing we all have in common is the disgust that we see with all these vocal people talking about defunding the police. Those are the ones who seem to be the most photographed, the most outspoken that we can see, but yet there are those who actually do support the police, both philanthropically and in many, many other ways. So with that being said, I'm honored on behalf of the Leo Committee to make a presentation to Rob Thompson, who has unselfishly supported the law enforcement community in so many different ways and is a platinum sponsor here today. Rob, can you come up? This is Rob and his son, Jack. Go ahead, go this way. Got the box down here.
Thank you very much. It's our honor to do this for everybody. We appreciate everything you guys do.
It is now meat and potatoes time, guys. And if you happen to see 3 hairs of my head that are blowing a little bit, I do have a fan up here because it's hot. However, our MC never gets hot. Thanks, Shannon. Well, you got my back. Whew. It's now my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our MC. Shannon Cake is not only a 15-time regional Emmy Award winner, but also a champion of law enforcement. Shannon has been the MC for the Leo Awards for the last 13 years, and she is so committed to this program that she actually plans her family vacations around this, believe it or not. The respect she has garnered within the law enforcement community is proof positive that strong relationships can be built between the media and law enforcement. And that's certainly a true statement. Shannon is and will always be a part of the Leo Committee family. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming back WPTV News Channel 5 anchor Shannon Cake.
Thank you, friend. You don't have to take your fan away, though. I might need it. It does get hot up here, you're right, all these lights. All right, thank you. Good afternoon to you, and thank you. Listen, it is my privilege and honor to be with all of you today and be asked each year to serve as your MC. I don't take it lightly that I'm invited into your agencies and have a couple of minutes to talk to each of you. This year, I had the privilege of getting out and interviewing a number of the nominees, and I really, truly appreciate the trust that was allowed to have those interviews, and we were able to share them on WPTV News Channel 5. Somebody came with a phone and didn't turn their ringer off. She should be out of here. That would be me. My apologies for the chiming bells in the background. Anyway, thank you again for having us. I just want to mention, I'm so tickled over the years. Channel 5 has gotten super excited about this event. In fact, I get an email about February, late February, early March, asking, okay, let's start talking Leo Awards. And we are streaming live right now in the back of the room. Tom Anderson on camera for us on WPTV.com. So if you want to shoot a text message to your family and friends at home, let them know they can, dial into WPTV.com. We're carrying this ceremony live. They can see how fabulous you are, right? And follow right along if they couldn't make it with you today. We're also on our WPTV app. If you can let them know, they can dial in that way as well. Thanks again for having us. Our stories will be airing, and I hope you've been catching them all week. 3, 4, 5, 6, and another one goes tonight at 6 o'clock. I just got a text message from our producer. So these have been really terrific stories. A lot of raw and real interviews. And again, we really appreciate that. We'll be profiling a few of them. I am so tickled about this event. I was coming home after a number of our interviews, and I kept telling my kids, my husband and my 2 boys, about these incredible stories we were doing. So I grabbed my boys, Joseph and Christian, they're sitting in the back, and I said, you got to come see what a room full of heroes looks like. So this is what it looks like, boys. Front and center. Hey, buddy. So my family's here with me today. Frank and Leo Committee, thanks again. Let's get this party started. Today's nominees were selected by their respective agencies. The agency liaisons then forwarded the nominations to the Leo Awards Committee for consideration. This year, the Leo Committee received a total of 229 nominations from 20 separate agencies. Upon the Leo Committee carefully reviewing each and every nomination, the best of the best in each category was selected to be honored here today. This is an exhausting process. Many phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of sleepless nights, right, Frank? Exhausting. Anyway, each selection was made with great respect and care. You should definitely know that. And transparency, too, to ensure that all events and circumstances were considered before an honoree was chosen. So here's how we're going to run the program this afternoon. For every category, I will read all the nominees, and then please, when you hear your name mentioned, if you will stand to be recognized. Audience, we're going to ask that you hold your applause until everybody is standing at once, and then we'll have a round of applause. Then the honoree will be named for that category. They can proceed to the podium as I'm reading the nomination letter. In the event that the honoree is not here today, we do ask that you would have an appropriate member of your agency come on up and pick up the award on that individual's behalf. We're also asking each of these selected honorees, if there's a sheriff, chief, or other top command staff, that you would accompany them here to the podium to help us present the award. Without further ado, it's now my pleasure to begin announcing the names of the nominees for our first category this year, and that is community policing. For the category of community policing, the nominees are, from the Boynton Beach Police Department, officers Amanda Coram, Janelle Jimenez, Jose Mendez. Please stand as we continue recognizing the other nominees. From the Florida Atlantic University Police Department, Sergeant Chelsea John Williams. From the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Cliff Labby. From the Lantana Police Department, Officer Paula Diaz. From the Riviera Beach Police Department, Officer Jennifer Jones. And from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Officer Angel Vargas. A round of applause for all of these amazing nominees. And the honoree for the Community Policing Award is, from the Riviera Beach Police Department, Officer Jennifer Jones. Officer Jennifer Jones was assigned to the department's homeless task force to address and alleviate the issues surrounding the homeless population in that city. While assigned to the division, she has taken on the collateral duties of being a member of the homeless outreach team and has made a positive, lasting impact in the lives of so many as a result. In late 2022, the coldest days of the winter were expected. Officer Jones took it upon herself to meet with every member of the homeless community and coordinated resources to assist those in need. These resources included blankets for those who chose to shelter in place, and then soup and coffee for others who were in need. For those who did not want to remain in the anticipated harsh environment, Officer Jones went above and beyond. Listen to this. She was able to secure bus tickets to transport them to a shelter. She has found shelter now for 42 families, 8 of whom had young children. Amazing. Directly and positively changing all of these individuals' lives. Officer Jones received a national recognition for her help with one of the families and is regarded as a leader engaged in assisting the homeless in our community for sure. She works directly with multiple organizations and has provided assistance to families on the brink of homelessness by providing funds for things like utility bills, rent, food, often, you guys know this, out of her own pocket. You guys do that. She is currently assigned to the State Attorney's Sober Homes Task Force and is the lead investigator in one of the largest cases in our city. There has never been any enforcement of the many sober homes in our city, and this enforcement has led to fewer individuals being homeless while also having a direct impact on crime. In fact, her relationship with members of the homeless community has resulted in obtaining information, listen to this, which has directly led to the arrest of 2 individuals for homicides and another one for a shooting. Officer Jennifer Jones' passion is working with and helping those in need, especially the homeless. She embodies the heart and spirit of community policing, and we are proud to present her with this award. Officer Jennifer Jones.
I don't really talk in front of people, so I just want to say thank you to my command staff, and if we can all just continue to help the homeless people, because we all know in this room that it is growing at a very rapid rate. So God bless.
All right, thank you. So if you do want to say a few words, you are welcome to, okay? Nominees or honorees as you're called up, you're welcome to stop and say a few words, and also command staff as well. We'd love to hear from you. For the category, it's not required though, just offering. For the category of Lifetime Achievement now, the nominees are, from the North Palm Beach Police Department, Police Chief Richard Jenkins, please stand. From the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Senior Staff Assistant Allison Klotzer. From the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Chief John Bolduc, and Commander Darren Howie. A round of applause for all the nominees. The honoree for Lifetime Achievement is, from the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Police Chief John Bolduc. The nominating letter reads, Chief John Bolduc has been a law enforcement officer for 36 years. He joined the Port St. Lucie Police Department in 1994 and worked his way through the ranks to become its chief in 2012. Early on, Chief Bolduc realized that having a positive and trusting relationship with the residents, the community members, and other government agencies was vital to having a successful agency. Fostering a community policing model, Chief Bolduc created a cohesive environment where the residents felt safe enough enough to bring their concerns to the department, knowing that they would be taken seriously and acted upon with care and concern. During his tenure as chief, the city has grown from 167,000 residents, we know this, to 224,000 today. It's growing fast. Throughout this tremendous growth and change, Chief Bolduc has implemented programs and practices that have produced an approximate 60% reduction in crime in the last 11 years. He has also worked tirelessly to see that the men and women of the agency are given the best training and equipment, including updating the department's radios and fleet, providing state-of-the-art equipment and body-worn cameras, and the planning and construction of a new police facility as well. Chief Bolduc has lived in Port St. Lucie for over 30 years, and during that time has volunteered and mentored the youth of the area through organizations including the Boy and Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, PAL, Youth Leadership St. Lucie, and Kids at Hope, among others. The Children's Home Society of Florida presented him with their highest honor, the R. David and I. Lorraine Thomas Child Advocate of the Year Award. No surprise. Chief Bolduc retired on April 30th, 2023, and his hope for the community that he cares so much for is that it continues to prosper and maintain the quality of life for the families living and working there. Based upon his humble upbringing and belief in mentoring staff as they are our future, his legacy of being an outstanding leader and mentor will continue for the ages. Chief Bolduc is the epitome of what a law enforcement officer truly is. He strives for excellence every single day. It is with great pleasure that we award him the 2023 Lifetime Achievement Award, and we wish him and his wife, Ann, a long, healthy, happy retirement. Chief Bolduc.
I'll be super brief. Lifetime achievement, 36-year career in law enforcement, 35 years married to the same wonderful woman. She supported me the whole time. Anything I've done, she pushed me to do it or supported me while I was doing it. So thank you, Ann. And all those accomplishments you just heard about, that wasn't me. I just got lucky enough to be on a great team. They're all sitting back there in the back corner, and many more back up in Port St. Lucie. But this is a team effort. And so, thank you, guys.
The next category this afternoon, Detective or Investigator of the Year. Here are the nominees. From the Boca Raton Police Services Department, Detective Danielle Melgler. From the Boynton Beach Police Department, Detective Nicole Sala. From the Delray Beach Police Department, Detective Howard Lunsford. From the Florida Highway Patrol, Investigator Tyler Scheinberg. From the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Detective Brandon Dean. From the Jupiter Police Department, Agent Nathan Baird. From the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Detective Drew Patterson. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Detectives Frank Briganti, Brittany Christoffel, Jeremy Galfond, Joseph Piatchek, Emily Vanderlaan, Investigator Keith White, and Detective Eric Zandowski. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Agent Daniel Abrera. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Detective David Dionisio. And from the West Palm Beach Police Department, Detectives Fernando Palacios and Christian Tomas. A round of applause for all these amazing nominees. For the category of Detective Investigator of the Year, the honoree is, from the Delray Beach Police Department, Detective Howard Lunsford. In 2022, Detective Charles Lunsford was assigned to the Delray Beach Department's Crimes Against Persons Unit. This unit investigates major cases, including homicide, robbery, sexual assault, suspicious deaths, missing persons, and all the fun stuff, right? In 2022, Detective Lunsford was formally assigned to a total of 83 cases, and he supported and investigated many more, they say. His clearance rate, listen to this, an astounding 66%. And he still has 6 open cases, they say, from 2022 alone that he's actively investigating today. His most notable arrests from 2022 include a sexual battery case involving a serial rapist and the arrest of a suspect for sexual battery of a mentally defective person after she was found to be pregnant. Detective Lunsford is also the lead investigative field training officer for the Crimes Against Persons Unit, by the way. It shows the trust and the effect that he has on his peers in the entire investigative division. His vast knowledge of these violent types of crimes comes from his training, his expertise, and deep understanding of the collection, perseverance, and analysis of all types of digital evidence. He is so well regarded in his field that in October 2022, the State Attorney's Office requested that he testify as an expert witness in a first-degree murder case. Wow. Pretty remarkable. Detective Lunsford's testimony proved instrumental, and the jury returned a guilty verdict, and the defendant was sentenced to life in prison. Detective Lunsford is entrusted with investigating the most heinous and highly sensitive crimes, and he does so with an unparalleled concern, dedication, and determination. While he works diligently to solve crimes and bring closure to victims, he also takes the time to make sure that people see the caring and compassionate side of law enforcement. He has routinely supported and participated in the police department's annual toy drive, collecting and delivering toys to local children, and in holiday food drives as well. Detective Lunsford's commitment, loyalty, dedication, and sustained superior performance reflects credit upon himself and his department and is in keeping with the highest standards of the Delray Beach Police Department. Please join me in congratulating the Detective of the Year, Detective Howard Charles Lunsford.
I'm shocked. I'm also not a public speaker. But I'd be remiss without thanking the foundation for this award, which is an incredible honor, as well as my companions over at the Delray Beach Police Department, which I'm proud to serve as and feel is a premier law enforcement agency in the state. So thank you to you guys and to all the other agencies that I've worked with and have given advice and support. So thank you to everyone.
Next category, the Emergency Communications Operator of the Year. For this category, the nominees are, from the Boynton Beach Police Department, Communications Supervisor Allie Jackson. From the Florida Atlantic University Police Department, Dispatcher Amber Rafa. From the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Dispatcher Cheryl Wakawayak. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, ECO Christy Banks and Jana Fallhaber. A round of applause for all of the standing nominees. The honoree for the category of Emergency Communications Operator of the Year is, from the Boynton Beach Police Department, Communications Supervisor Allie Jackson. Communications Supervisor Allie Jackson began in 2022 as a communications specialist and communications training officer. During this time, she consistently displayed commitment, dedication, and an exemplary work ethic. She worked extensive overtime hours, and in addition to training new hires, she offered to train sworn police officers so that they could help alleviate the continuous personnel shortage in the center. In April 2022, she was nominated by her peers for Professional Staff Member of the Month. This nomination highlighted an in-progress burglary where 5 suspects were taken into custody while Allie was on the dispatcher on the Police Main, you guys know what that is, right? I had to ask, but Police Main radio channel. She demonstrated exceptional multitasking skills as she calmly performed these duties. Her work ethic and the quality of her work did not go unnoticed. And she was subsequently promoted, they say, to Communications Supervisor, because you could handle it, right? They had your number. She has worked diligently in this new role as well. While still in training, she was the shift supervisor during a call involving a domestic violence incident where the suspect was a convicted felon. The female caller advised that she was being held against her will at gunpoint. The suspect refused to leave the residence and barricaded himself inside. Allie was able to supervise and monitor the entire call center. She was supervising and monitoring the center and also commanding duties, including a SWAT call out and, oh yeah, by the way, in her spare time, a hostage negotiation team request. Okay, during this incident, no police officers were injured, and after many, many hours, the suspect exited the residence, surrendered without further incident. Supervisor Jackson was commended for that excellent leadership and her handling of that center during that really stressful incident. Allie has a big heart, they say, for the job and is a dedicated employee who not only goes above and beyond, but also works diligently to ensure that others in the center excel in their roles as dispatchers. She is a true role model, and we are proud to award her the Emergency Communications Operator of the Year for Allie Jackson.
I'm definitely not a public speaker, but I just wanted to say thank you to the foundation, to my agency chief, to the upper brass, and I know the extreme amount of talent in South Florida with all the dispatchers, so I'm really honored. Thank you.
For the category of Supervisor, Manager of the Year, the nominees are, from the Jupiter Police Department, Sergeant Jason Alexander. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Bert Gaudreau and Section Manager Roderick White. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Sergeant Carl Cooper. From the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Commander March DeMeo and Sergeant Aaron Martin. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Daron Brown and Sergeant Antoine Pinkney. From the West Palm Beach Police Department, Sergeant James Lewis, Sergeant Christopher Nagel, Sergeant Deanna Rideau, and Sergeant Thomas Walsh. A round of applause for all these fine nominees. The honoree for the category of Supervisor, Manager of the Year is, from the Jupiter Police Department, Sergeant Jason Alexander. Sergeant Alexander is the leader on Nights 2, which is by far the most proactive shift. Nights 2 has seen many new officers assigned to that shift, and Sergeant Alexander has made the extra effort to mentor and guide these new officers. He leads by example, is always professional, and is always available to his officers. His mentorship has trained 2 new sergeants, and he promotes a fun and proactive culture on his shift. Besides his leadership skills, Sergeant Alexander shows great initiative, diversifying his responsibilities. He's taken command of the Small Unmanned Aircraft Systems team, which requires a tremendous amount of research and education. He commands this team with each member working different shifts with great effectiveness, utilizing positive communication and coordination skills. He's also expanded on his administrative duties as it pertains to budgeting, purchasing, and is a trustee on the Police Pension Board. In 2022, he also served on the committee to select the town's new crossing guard company. Sergeant Alexander exemplifies what a great supervisor should be: motivated, dedicated, professional, and committed, not only to his responsibilities, but also to those he mentors and supervises. Sergeant Jason Alexander.
I'd like to thank everyone for being here and for all the support for law enforcement we see in this room, including the foundation. I'd also like to thank the Jupiter Police Administration for having the faith in me and for nominating me for this position, and most importantly, for the men and women of Nights 2 Platoon who made me look good. Thank you very much.
The next category, Task Force or Unit of the Year. Here are the nominees. From the Boca Raton Police Services Department, Ryan Alvino and Thomas Tyson, please stand. From the Delray Beach Police Department, Anthony Massey. From the Jupiter Police Department, Brandon Lopez. From the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Matthew Cadell, Kevin Duffy, and Dominic Ferrucci. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Manager Marie Moody. Intoxilizer. I had to get a phonetic breakdown of it. I couldn't say it 5 times fast. Intoxilizer. Woo! Okay. Intoxilizer technicians. Joshua Bell. You thought you were going to stump me. Thomas Leahy. Joshua Bell, Thomas Leahy, Sherry O'Neill, Paris Pound, and Renee Reagan. Deputies Philip Crowley, Sean Delhome, Reynaldo Soriana, Billy Vandermeeren Sanchez, Carlos Buccelli, Nick Kameen, Jerry Deneen, Dan Friend, Sean Myers, Mike O'Connor, Chris O'Leary, Joey Pollock, Dave Rutherford, Nate Smith, Julia Acosta, Chris Armanini, Joseph Blackman, Harrison Budish, Taylor DeMario, Chris Francis, Joey Frommer, Ernie George, Richard Gilmore, Robert Hentz, Michael Joyner, Joshua Joseph, Luciano Labate, Austin Loffer, George Mastix, Paul Sanchez, and Kaylee Wenziel. Pilots Ron Blozer, Tom Brenneman, Mike Deaver, Megan Foster, Ken Kazor, Dana McLeod, Don Meyerskoff, Mark Reed, Ronald Scalise, Mike Smith, Andrew Tucker, and Robert Weiss. Tactical flight officers Chris Cameron, Vasil Cooperberger, and Todd Ragmanoli. Corporal Chris Miller, Sergeants Kevin Marks, Scott Yoder, Ted Elliott, David Ferrugia, Mike Musto, Andrew Nicoletti, Mike Strong, Victoria Fazino, Butch Altonen, Mark Lanier, and John Whalen. Lieutenants Ryan Mudridge, Sean Bozdek, and Jason Johnson. And there's more. We're gonna have a whole room standing in a minute. Captain Thomas Ewell. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Edgar Bartista. From the Port St. Lucie Police Department, officers Juliana Ferros, Kevin Fry, Martin Gobrial, Brittany Hawley, Anthony Lavecchio, and Sergeant Matt Reynolds. From the Riviera Beach Police Department, officers James Aldoff, Orlando Douglas, Alexander Hardrick, Javars Harvey, Tierra Hawkins, Breland Ivory, and Corey Tate. Also, agents Francisco Aguirre, Tyler Cox, Jamel Headings, Richard Rott, and Brandon Russo. Sergeants Peter Modica, Nir Mordechai, and Melvin Minar. From the West Palm Beach Police Department, Ishmael Flores, Joshua Kronzek, Detective Sam Aaron, Andrea Branch, Paula Creelman, Darren McCarthy, Ronald Robbins, Regina Wood, Sergeant Dennis Hardiman, and last one, Lieutenant William DeVito. A round of applause for the nominees. That is like a third of the room, isn't it? The honoree for the category of Task Force Unit of the Year, the Riviera Beach Police Department Combined Ace and Vice Units. In early 2022, street-level drug activity and violent crimes were greatly impacting the quality of life for the citizens of Riviera Beach. In response to this growing problem, the department initiated a multi-pronged approach. Operation Time Capsule is what they called it. It targeted street-level drug dealers there in the city. Early into the operation, a street-level transaction led to a homicide. Members of the Vice Unit assisted in the investigation, which led to the arrest of 3 people. For approximately 7 months, members of this unit, working in undercover capacity, targeted the street-level dealers. Vice agents drafted probable cause for 83 dealers. And with the assistance of PBSO, West Palm Beach PD, Jupiter PD, the DEA, ATF, and U.S. Marshals Service, takes a village, right? Over 60 were ultimately arrested, with more to follow. The department's Active Criminal Enforcement, or ACE team, similarly worked diligently to remove firearms and drugs from the streets of the city. This team was successful in seizing 67 firearms and large quantities of drugs, including but not limited to cocaine, heroin, OxyContin, fentanyl, bath salts, and marijuana. Although we will never be satisfied until no loss of life is encountered, we commend the combined determined efforts of these 2 units, which have taken a progressive approach and allowed the city to move forward toward becoming a safer place. In fact, the city of Riviera Beach experienced a 21.43% decrease in homicides and the lowest violent crime rate in 31 years. Incredible. Please join us as we congratulate the following members of these two units, and I won't say their names again because we'll be here all day, as we award them this year's Task Force of the Year Award.
I too am not a public speaker, but just everybody needs to know that it's just not the people that's on this podium right now that deserves this award. There's a lot of other officers in our DBO and our departments that deserve some recognition too. And I just want to say thank you all. Everybody be safe, and get to all the glory be to God. Thank you.
Corrections Deputy, right? Thank you. All right. The next category is Corrections Deputy of the Year. The nominees are from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Julio Rivera. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Corporal Eric Peters. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy David Burnett. A round of applause for these nominees. The honoree today for the Corrections Deputy of the Year is Corporal Eric Peters from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Oh, this is heart-stopping when I read this. All right, on May 1st, 2022, at about 6 in the evening, you guys said 1811. I'm going with 6 p.m. because we got people at home watching, civilians. All right, 6 p.m., around 6 p.m. An unknown deputy screamed on the radio for help. Corporal Peters, who was working voluntary overtime, was on South 6th floor at the time, escorting an inmate to another unit. Corporal Peters recognized Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla's voice through this transmission. He immediately secured the inmate that he was transporting, and he proceeded to South 6C, where he knew Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla was assigned. Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla again screamed over the radio, but now was able to advise of his location. Corporal Peters entered the vestibule of South 6C and observed this: a shirtless inmate in the lower tier bathroom on the floor with Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla. The inmate was in a kneeling position, leaning on the back of the Deputy Bonilla, who was laying face down on the floor and pinned against the wall in a headlock. As Corporal Peters entered the unit, he gave several verbal commands to the inmate to let go of the deputy, no avail. The inmate then changed his position and put Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla in a rear naked choke, deriving him of air now. He continued to apply more leverage and pressure on the back of Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla's neck while screaming, this is the inmate, I'm going to die, and he's coming with me. Corporal Peters delivered a closed right fist to the left side of the inmate's face, but to no avail. A second and then a third fist strike was delivered to the inmate's face before the inmate finally released Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla. Corporal Peters took the inmate to the floor, secured him in handcuffs. Corporal Peters' quick and intelligent response in this incident no doubt thwarted the actions of an inmate who, by his own statement, was trying to kill Deputy Carrasquillo Bonilla. We are proud to present him with the Corrections Officer of the Year Award.
I just want to say thank you for the committee recognizing me for doing what I do on a regular basis. I want to thank my wife for supporting me all the time in everything that I do. And I want to thank my command staff for recognizing me and some of the things that I've given back to the corrections community. Thank you.
Next, Canine Achievement. For the category of Canine Achievement, the nominees are from the Boynton Beach Police Department, Officer Patrick Rodell, and from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Benjamin Debliak. A round of applause for our two nominees. And the honoree for the Canine Achievement Award this year from the Boynton Beach Police Department, Officer Patrick Rodell and Canine Bain. In 2022, Officer Rodell and Canine Bain had over 40 deployments. They secured the apprehension of 20 individuals who had committed violent felonies, including armed robbery, shootings, aggravated battery, and burglary, among a few. Some of the most noteworthy apprehensions included the arrest of 2 suspects who had just committed a drive-by shooting in Delray Beach, then fled and subsequently bailed out of their vehicle in Boynton Beach. They also responded to an in-progress burglary at Renaissance Commons, where multiple suspects were actively breaking into vehicles in the parking garage of that residential community. Officer Rodell and Bain observed 5 individuals exiting the garage on foot, and they were able to apprehend all 5 without incident. While committing an in-progress burglary in the Crossings community, 3 suspects fled after seeing responding officers. Officer Rodell deployed Canine Bain, who used his keen sense of smell and training to track and locate all 3 suspects who were hiding under a stairwell, and 1 suspect was found to be armed with a handgun. All 3 were successfully apprehended by this dedicated canine team. It should be noted that as one of the censor officers on the night shift, Officer Rodell provides leadership and acts as a mentor to less experienced officers. As the supervisors have noted, without Rodell's leadership, the shift would run nowhere as smoothly as it does. That's a quote. Officer Rodell is an ideal and model officer who exemplifies the core values of the Boynton Beach Police Department. We are proud to present Officer Rodell and his partner Bain this year's Canine Achievement Award.
Hi, thank you very much. I want to say thanks to the chief and all my superior staff, but I couldn't do this without our wonderful perimeters. Bravo shift, set up perimeters, guys get locked down, bad guys get found. Thank you.
He'll let you use that if you want to use that on a hashtag or something. All right, the next category is Officer or Deputy of the Year. Here are the nominees. From the Boynton Beach Police Department, Officers Jose Cardenas and Cynthia Rivera. From the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Officer Alicia Cernudo. From the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Bobby Gage. From the Jupiter Police Department, Officer First Class Ian Fierez. From the Lantana Police Department, Officer Cecil Tipton. From the North Palm Beach Police Department, Jamil Millard. From the Ocean Ridge Police Department, Officer Keith Ramirez. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Adam Pasinal. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Officer Juan Ramiro. From the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Master Officer Thomas Nichols. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Patrick Seidel. From the West Palm Beach Police Department, Officers Michael Borgen and Haley Nine. The honoree for Officer Deputy of the Year is Officer Haley Nine from the West Palm Beach Police Department. During 2022, Officer Haley Nine was proactive in her assigned area, assisted with the investigation and evidence collection of several high-profile property crime investigations and evidence collection of several property crime investigations. She had also attended advanced training, including off-duty. She took her own time to get trained. She received commendations from community members. During that time, she volunteered at the Explorer Academy, and she was involved with many community partners, both on and off duty. My apologies, he. While handling initial property crimes, complaints are common for road patrol officers. Officer Nine spent hours following up on several cases, which led to the recovery of evidence and subsequently the identity of a burglary suspect, relieving detectives of countless hours of investigation. For example, Officer Nine investigated an auto burglary case where suspects broke windows and also entered vehicles via unlocked doors. Officer 9 recovered CCTV video showing a possible suspect, then proactively located and reviewed additional video to confirm the suspect. In order to advance her knowledge and training, Officer 9 attended both field training officer and special tactical problems on her own time. Officer 9 also attended crisis intervention training, and she has for the past 5 years. In 2022, Officer 9 participated in the Residential Police Explorer Boot Camp for Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. As a drill instructor, Officer M. Casey, the lead advisor for the camp, stated, Officer 9's military and police experience make her a crucial participant as a drill instructor in our program. It is not easy to find drill instructors, namely females, with the experience she has and what she brings to the program. In 2022, Officer 9 was awarded several commendations, including a life-saving medal, and in May, she was commended by Assistant State Attorney Tropia in the felony unit for her trial testimony, stating that her testimony was by far the best I have ever seen. That was a quote. Officer 9 was also commended for her response in the Dreyfus school shooting. Wow. Unbelievable. Officer 9 regularly displays an exemplary dedication to the community and connection to those that she serves. Officer 9 has attended several functions as a liaison between the police and the LGBTQ+ community. She also assisted in Little Smiles, Project Smile, and delivered food and clothing to children in need within our community. She was also captured on video, ready for this, dancing with elder members of the community at a local nursing home. And when the video was posted on the department's social media platforms, it received over 1.8 thousand views. Officer Haley 9 has demonstrated exceptional performance and community engagement during 2022, and we are proud to present her with this award. Officer Haley 9.
Thank you. We all stand up in the nomination wondering how we're going to awkwardly clap and then sit down when you lose. So I did not expect to be called. But thank you, everyone here. I have a lot of mentors from multiple agencies, especially from within my own. And I just want to thank you guys for this nomination and being awarded this honor. So thank you.
The next category is life-saving. For the category of life-saving, the nominees are, from the Florida Atlantic University Police Department, Officer Sherez Belfon Cave, CSO Justin Gadsden, Caitlin LaCroix, and Officer Danielle Luciano. From the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Deputies Blake Giordano and Tony Lee. From the Jupiter Police Department, Captain Michael Salvamini and Officer Shauna Schaff. From the Lantana Police Department, Officer Elizabeth Waldercoder. From the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Deputies Danielle Hill and Morgan Sprott. From the Palm Beach County School Board Police Department, Officers Teresa Hagg and Corey Piazza. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Michelle Bradford. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Cortland Jones. From the Town of Palm Beach Police Department, Sergeant Craig Newby. From the West Palm Beach Police Department, Officers Yanko Abreu, Cassandra Bogert, Jeremy Boykins, Nelson Ciceras, Darnell Campbell, Willie Luis, Charles Linden, Albert McCarthy, Gregory McDonald, Hector Perdigon, Austin Danielovich, Nuchek Pierre, and Hannah Scotch, and Sergeant Ismael Flores. A round of applause for all the nominees. The honorees for the category of Life-Saving Award are, from the Martin County Sheriff's Office, Deputies Daniel Hill and Morgan Sprott. I had the privilege of sitting down with Deputy Sprott, Deputy Hill. We aired this story last night. Take a look.
A
A dramatic explosion on the back of this boat while a dangerous rescue was playing out on the bow.
I honestly didn't know that the boat exploded until after the fact.
You can see Martin County Sheriff's deputies Buddy Sprott and Danny Hill were tugging and pulling, trying to get an unconscious man from the cabin below onto the deck and off this raging inferno. After that explosion, you can see the flames getting so hot, the tower collapses.
Seeing the video after the fact, we both had no idea that that tower even fell until we saw it on the video. We were oblivious to it.
What the hell? Is somebody on board?
This all started on a Sunday in August of last year, a call for help in a busy boating community of Manatee Pocket in Stuart. You can see from the angle on this surveillance video, the pair, part of the Martin Marine Unit, pulling up and boarding the burning boat. They knew the owner was still inside.
The cabin was completely closed, and then the rear of it was actually blocked by fire. So we were able to breach a little small window that was on the starboard side of the boat. Through that window, I was able to see the guy standing there. The only thing he was able to say at the time was just that I need help.
At first try, the front hatch was locked, wouldn't budge. The two kept pulling and tugging, trying to get it open and get to that man inside.
Buddy was trying to get him to go unlock the hatch for us, but he wasn't moving that way.
And like I said, I was begging and pleading with him, trying to go open that front hatch because we knew that was the only way we were able to get him out.
With no way around the flames, that front hatch seemed to be the only way in.
I tried to stomp the thing when he tried to, hit it with a baton.
And I began trying to break the plexiglass.
Get careful.
But that wasn't working.
Get off, guys.
So I ended up jumping back on the sheriff's office boat.
You can see them searching for something, anything on board their rescue boat that might break that hatch door.
The heat just getting so intense that, we need to figure something out here quickly.
Coming up with nothing, Sprott and Hill knew it was too dangerous to go back on board.
Realizing that it's gotten too hot for us to stay on the boat, so we're actually about to pull away when both of us make a conscious effort to say, hey man, let's try one more time. And thank God for the one more time, because we jumped back up there and it just opened right up.
We're not sure to this day what exactly caused it to open up. I don't know if the mechanism on the hatch ended up breaking from us hitting it so much.
I was able to see the guy's wrist when he was laying on the bed, and that's when, on the video, you can see me go, pretty deep into that front hatch and pull the guy by the wrist. That's when I started screaming to Deputy Hill that I've got his wrist, I've got his wrist. He immediately jumps up and starts assisting me with grabbing this guy out.
That's the exact moment this happened. As the pair pulled the boater to safety, that tower then came tumbling down.
That was insane. They saved him.
To this day, it's still a mystery to us.
Yeah.
I think it's the good Lord upstairs helped us out on that one.
Yeah, we're not sure exactly what caused it to be able to open, but that last ditch effort was able to open, and we were able to get them out.
A life-saving story that's still being talked about on the docks around here and has rightfully earned Sprott and Hill the title of heroes.
It's a heavy badge to wear. It's an absolute honor. That's why we do this job in the first place, is to try to help people.
Yeah, it's nothing but an honor, and it's really just, I feel privileged and that we did our job that day, and that's just a really good feeling knowing that we did our job.
The supervisors of the deputies wrote the actions of Deputy Morgan Buddy Sprott and Deputy Daniel Hill were more than just a life-saving event, but one of extreme courage and perseverance. They both risked imminent danger to their own lives with knowledge of the risk so that another man would live. We applaud their bravery and award them this year's life-saving award.
What can I say? Thank you. Thank you to the command staff. Thank you to Lieutenant Roscoe for the nomination. I have no doubt in my mind that you guys would have done the exact same thing.
I don't know what else to say. Just say thank you.
That works. Next category, Civilian of the Year. For the category of Civilian of the Year, the nominees are from the Boca Raton Police Services Department, Forensic Services Manager Kristen Archuleta. From the Boynton Beach Police Department, Crime Analyst Jan Clark. From the Delray Beach Police Department, Accreditation Manager Dawn English. From the Jupiter Police Department, Community Service Officer James Rothgeb. From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Intoxilizer Technician. Intoxilizer Technician. You have those words, you just can't say that's one for me. All right, it's Paris Pound. From the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Admin Operations Coordinator Alana Ramay. From the Riviera Beach Police Department, Ben Sheehan. From the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Classification Specialist Megan Figo. And Judicial Specialist Kimberly Oakley. From the West Palm Beach Police Department, Code Officer Paula McFarlane. And the honoree for the category of Civilian of the Year. Oh, first, a round of applause for the nominees. Sorry. Skipping right ahead. The honoree for the category of Civilian of the Year is from the Riviera Beach Police Department, Ben Sheehan. The Riviera Beach Police Department is the blueprint for technology in Palm Beach County, being the first department to have a fully functioning real-time crime center, and has also trademarked the acronym TOP, Technology-Oriented Policing. These systems include camera systems, multiple gunshot detection technology, multiple license plate readers, body-worn cameras, in-car video systems, and numerous other technologies. Ben Sheehan, working as a one-man unit, is responsible for acquiring, deploying, and maintaining all of these systems. In 2022, he deployed the Axon body-worn camera system. He deployed 130 APX Next radios. He bought over 40 cameras online, deployed a second gunshot detection system, and launched the department's first substation in his spare time. His work has been so highly recognized that he is now playing a pivotal role in establishing security systems for all city buildings and facilities. Information he has retrieved for other jurisdictions has led to the arrest of a great number of individuals who've committed violent crimes in the county. In addition, he is the department's FDLE local agency CGIS, Compliance Security Officer, also the Operations Oversight Manager, FDLE Coordinator, Frontline Technical Manager, and point person for the 24/7 response to issues with our CAD system, 911 operations, and dispatch, and any other event involving our facility or department. If this wasn't enough, he is the department's drone operation leader as well, and responded to multiple events during 2022, assisting in the apprehension of suspects and the recovery of evidence. He is also responsible for FAA coordination and the training of all other department drone operators. To say that Ben Sheehan is an indispensable member of this department would be an understatement. He is an incredibly hard worker, exhibits tremendous professionalism, is motivated, and has a work ethic that is second to none. We are proud to present him with this year's Civilian of the Year Award.
I am a public speaker. I'll run my mouth in front of any audience, but I'll spare you. I've been doing this role, this is my 21st year. Every day of all 21 of those years, I understand that the honor is serving the people in this room. You're the guys that every day are out there on the streets taking care of business. The two badasses we just saw in that video, it is my honor to even sit in the room with those guys. So thank you very much, and hope many more years of assisting law enforcement and helping you get your job done. Thank you.
For the category of valor, the nominees are from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant James Dixon, Sergeant Ryan Eggers and Christopher Lester, Deputies Shane Jorger, Timothy Miller, Brian Nunnally, Kevin Peach, and Jason Polisek. And from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Cody Colangelo. A round of applause for all of these nominees. The honoree for the category of valor is from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant James Dixon, Sergeants Ryan Eggers, Christopher Lester, Deputy Shane Jurger, Timothy Miller, Brian Nunnally, Kevin Peach, and Jason Polasek. Had the privilege and honor once again of sitting down with these gentlemen on this story. Their stories individually were unbelievable, heart-stopping. One of them told me that he was on a mound. I couldn't get this in the story. It's a long story. I'm going to share it with you now. He was on a mound, holding position, hold your position, hold your position. They were there for minutes on end. He's being eaten alive by red ants, right? He held his position. I love my people at Channel 5, but I'd be putting down my weapon and out of there. Let my peeps at Channel 5 colleagues handle it. Listen, this was an extraordinary story. It airs tonight on News Channel 5 at 6. I had the privilege of telling it. Thank you for that trust. Thank you so much. Take a look.
I have multiple shots fired.
Gun to head, gun to head. Hands up!
A string of heart-stopping moments.
Gun to head, gun to head.
From the air
Hands up.
to the ground, the hunt seemed to stretch for miles. A hostage situation with 2 victims. And a firefight that could have easily gone the wrong way.
It doesn't matter if you've been in, 100, 200 shootings. You never know what's going to happen after that next one, right? You can't really prepare for it.
But on June 25th last year, a team of Indian River County Sheriff's deputies were trained and ready.
All right, I have deputies on the way to...
When a call came in from another county.
It was a possible shooting and abduction. We immediately recognized the name and know that the situation could be dangerous once we encounter him.
The suspect, an Indian River County resident and known felon. 1 woman shot, 2 taken hostage. Deputy Brian Nunnally spotted the suspect's car and started following onto I-95.
I saw muzzle flash, or what looked like muzzle flash coming from the driver's side window, and then I saw rounds skipping off the pavement.
He's firing at you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're literally seeing them ricochet off the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
It was intense.
And what's going through your mind?
That I have to keep going.
Chopper was called in to assist. SWAT Commander Lieutenant James Dixon, off duty, got the urgent call at home.
My son and, girlfriend at the time were looking at me and, what is going on? And I'm running, getting dressed, turning on the radio, and they're listening to the radio too, and, hearing shots are being fired and, this chase that's going on. And I could see the look in their eyes, and it was in mine too. It was, that kind of hit me. It was like we've never had a hostage situation in this agency.
The chase now spilling into Brevard County.
It was just insane. Just running through red lights like it wasn't even there.
Weaving through traffic during rush hour.
Like I'm talking 100 miles per hour right through the intersection.
The suspect winds down this dirt road.
All right, the vehicle's stuck. He's stuck in the sand.
How many people we got in the car? Do we know?
Maybe 3.
And now it's starting to get dark, and things just change when it gets dark.
You have multiple firearms pointed at you. There is no way out.
1 hostage pushed from the car. From the chopper above, you see her here in a ball on the ground, injured and bleeding.
We operate on something called safety priorities, and the number 1 priority on that is a hostage victim. We do anything and everything to rescue that person, and their safety comes well above ours. So if we have to sacrifice our life to save that person, that's what we do.
Hands up! Hands up! Gun to head! Gun to head! Hands up! Gun to head!
The second hostage now being pulled into a wooded area.
He's right on the south edge of this wood line.
The infrared chopper shot shows the deputies moving into formation. On their bellies in an open field with no cover. It's pitch black until finally.
Several deputies use their lights, identifies a shot, takes it, strikes him in the side of the chest, side area, which creates space between the hostage and himself. As he's going to the ground, he fires another round towards us or at the hostage. We weren't really sure, which allowed other deputies to return fire, ultimately killing the suspect.
And when he took the shot at us, I actually heard the bullet crack above my head.
Incredibly, the two hostages both survived.
Everybody good? Yeah. Everybody check yourself. Nobody hurt, right? Yeah, good.
And not a single deputy injured.
You don't really think about it. You know, it's just one of those things you just, sorry. You kind of just do what you have to do at that point, you know.
Going into this, in my heart, in my bones, I knew leaving that house, leaving my family, that one of us was going down that day. You know, I almost regret it because I just ran out the door, said, gotta go, bye. You know, and looking back on it, you know, my son at the time was 14, and you know, I didn't take the time to give him a hug. You know, that's a regret of mine, you know, because what if something did happen to me? You know, that would have been my last interaction with my family. Looking, if it happened again, I'm taking that extra second to say bye next time, that's for sure.
And don't even try to call these men heroes.
I wouldn't say heroes. I think we are people that did our job on a day that unfortunately somebody had the worst day of their life and made poor decisions that ended in their tragic death. But we all just did our job. That's what we signed up to do.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime career call for service. There's many officers that will go 30, 35 years and never respond to something like this. And for our team to respond as well as they did, it's an honor.
It was a long piece. I want to add the nomination letter mentioned, and I know you gentlemen would want me to mention this too. They had the assistance of Sebastian Canine, Brevard deputies. They started pursuing this suspect in that complete darkness with the assistance of aviation units, and the team continued that track with them for about 3/4 of a mile in that open terrain, no points of cover as you saw. In the pursuit, the suspect fired multiple rounds. You saw the deputies laying down in that fire line, awaiting the location of the suspect from aviation. As the suspect continued to change positions, they rotated, and listen, Sergeant Eggers, listen to how so small, was able to make a silhouette and requested light in order to see the suspect. Deputies illuminated the suspect who was holding the hostage within 8 inches from him. Sergeant Eggers fired, struck the suspect, who again fired at deputies, fell to the ground. Several other deputies then discharged their weapons, moved in, saved that hostage. This is valor.
That's yours, Jimmy.
Thank you, guys. I'm Eric Flowers, Indian River County Sheriff, and on behalf of our entire team, thank you for this award. Our team, this team that's behind me, is an incredible group of individuals. As she said, Lieutenant Dixon was actually off duty when this call came in. He got dressed and responded, not only commanded our folks who were on scene, our SWAT group that was assembling, but also all the Brevard County Sheriff's Office that was responding. He took over, commanded that scene like I've never seen before. I do want to mention, you mentioned Sebastian Officer Richie Rivas. He was with the Attorney General this past week receiving her award for this particular incident. So this is truly a team effort. We're incredibly blessed to have such an amazing group of heroes, and I'm incredibly blessed to be able to lead so many amazing people every single day. So thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. I just want to thank the foundation for this honor. It is truly humbling. These guys won't say it like the article said, but I'll call them all heroes because they are.
Our final category for the afternoon is the Chairman's Award. Since the inception of this award, the Leo Committee has always selected a law enforcement officer as the recipient who has demonstrated their ability to go above and beyond the call of duty. The award description is as follows. On June 1st, 2018, A deceased newborn female infant was found floating in the Atlantic Ocean off the Boynton Beach Inlet. The circumstances of how the infant wound up there were unknown, as was the identity of the infant or her mother. The infant came to be known as Baby June. Detectives visited hundreds of residents in multiple counties who had reported female births in the weeks prior to the discovery, all of which were accounted for. The Palm Beach County medical examiner ruled the death a homicide, and initial DNA tests did not provide any leads. Dozens of tips were investigated, but none provided any positive leads. As the case went cold, media reporting continued each year on the anniversary of the discovery of Baby June. In 2022, the PBSO Forensic Biology Unit started a program involving forensic investigative genealogy, at which time the possible father of Baby June was identified. Detective Christoffel was assigned to the SVU Cold Case Unit and began an investigation on this lead. She started investigating this particular lead. She was able to identify a female who was possibly the mother, and then initiated operations, a plan to covertly obtain DNA to confirm the mother's identity. After this confirmation, Detective Christoffel drafted several search warrants and was able to obtain further evidence of the suspect's involvement. Detective Christoffel obtained an arrest warrant and a plan to provide multiple simultaneous witness interviews at the time of the arrest, as well as a residential search warrant. After the suspect's arrest, Detective Christoffel studied or conducted an interview and obtained incriminating statements from this woman. The suspect was charged with murder, marking the end of one of the greatest mysteries investigated by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Ladies and gentlemen, please join the Leo Committee as we honor Detective Brittany Christoffel of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office as this year's Chairman's Award honoree.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to the association. I want to thank my boss, my sergeant, my supervisors, all the command staff in the Special Victims Unit where I work, and at PBSO. This case was very, very near and dear to our hearts. We actually never thought we would solve this case, so the fact that we got that lead from the genetic genealogy and it ended up panning out was really amazing to be able to bring justice to this baby girl that we found. So thank you very much.
That'll do it for us this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for all of the nominees and honorees today.
I would never be one to correct you, but we've got one more. We've got one more award. Oh, okay. And I didn't write anything down because I don't think I need to. On behalf of our committee and everything you've done, every year, what do we give Shannon? What can we do for her as a way to say thank you? She gives it back. Here, I love doing this. Don't give me anything. Well, we wanted to give her something she can't return. So we wanted to say thank you for all the support and everything you've done for us for the last 13 years. So this is from the committee.
Frank, I'm really very serious. It is my terrific honor to be here today, to have a chance to sit in the same room with all of you. Thank you so much for inviting me to play a small role. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have Chaplain Toby give us a little farewell here, and then we'll wrap it up, guys.
Okay, what a tremendous event today, always is. Let's bow for a closing prayer. Lord, we've been blessed today in so many ways. The music, the prayers, candle lighting, the stories, incredible stories, the heartfelt words, the remembrance of the fallen, and the rewards of the faithful. And so, God, we ask that you would give each one of us today a fresh vision and a hope for the future, courage to stay true to our convictions, and a passion to make our world a better place. We ask all these things in your precious name. Amen.
Could I ask one more thank you to all you, to the staff here at PGA for putting on this wonderful dinner today and everything. Great job. Congratulations to everybody that was nominated and honored. The Leo Committee loves you all. We appreciate everything you've done. Please stay safe, and we hope to see you all again next year. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon.